Hello, and I want to welcome you back once again on this job ready skill acquisition on Microsoft Excel. We, for the past lessons or previous lessons, discussed the Home tab, and it's now our turn to look at the page setup group. But under the page setup group, I've already talked about the themes group, so you can just go and have a look at that lesson from our Google Classroom platform. So let's focus on our page setup group. So the page setup group basically talks about how our page fits when it comes to the printing of it, when it comes to how the titles repeat on each page if you have a number of pages to print out, and how to print certain sections of your worksheet without necessarily having to print the entire content of that particular worksheet. And it also has to do with the paper size. So basically, that is what we'll be talking about under the page setup group. So if I'm to view it under normal mode, under page layout mode, because currently we are in normal mode. So I click on page layout mode, it will give you an indication of the page we are dealing with. So okay, we have page 1, we have another page here, page 2. So what if I want all of these to fit on one page? I'll obviously have to delete this particular column as I don't need it. Then I'll need to find a way of bringing this maximum so that it fits on this particular page, and you can do that by using the margin. So currently it's under normal. Let me try using narrow. Let me select wide. Okay, so this is what happens when you select wide. Then I can go ahead, click on what narrow. With narrow selected, you see it's more or less moves from the other page to the first page. So if I want this closed, I can just come in here, right click, and select what delete, and that takes it off. So this is how you change the margins of your worksheet. So you can actually come to custom margins. So with custom margin selected, you can decide how many inches from the left, from the right, from the top, or from the bottom. So if you decide to make changes to this, then it means you are customizing it. So if I make this 0.1, then I come and make the right 0.1, it will obviously change the way it looks. So this is how you can also customize the margin. Then we can also talk about the orientation of our page. So the orientation can be portrait, which is the default. I can change it to landscape. So anytime you're talking about changing orientation of a page, you don't look anywhere. You come to page layout, you come into the page setup group, you have the orientation there. Then we can also talk about the size. So the size will basically look at B5. We click to see, okay, so B5 size, okay. Then I can go select A5. So what is A5 about? So depending on the paper size that you are using, you just go through the list and you select. If it is A3, you select A3, and that will just do fine. So assuming I want to print this out, so if I'm printing, I come to file, then I'll select what prints, so I get to see everything in its entirety. So for one or two reasons, I don't want to print all the content of this particular page, but I only want to print this particular content. Does that mean I need to hide the rows or delete or cut these in other sections and put it on a different sheet? No, you need not to do that. So we have what we call the print area. So if I come Control Shift down to select the range, then I come to print area, then I'll say what? Set print area. So once I click on set print area and I go back to the printing of this particular worksheet, the system will automatically give me the print area because I actually told the system to only print a particular section. So you just need to understand the tools and how to use them. So I come to print area, then I'll say what? Clear print area. So if I go back to file, I come to print, then we can see everything in its full glare. Then we also have what? Breaks. So going back to print, I just wanted to see what is here. Going back to print, this is what I have. So if I insert a page break, it will move this content to the next page. So let's see how that works. So I'll select this particular cell, then I'll go to what? Insert page break. So once I do that, it moves it to the next page. I go back to file, I come to print, then there you have it. So we have page 1, then I go to what? Page 2. Perfect. So if you don't want, you come, you say what? Remove page break, and it will be removed and joined to the initial page on this particular worksheet. Excuse me. Then we also have background. So if you want to insert a background, I click background, and I'll say work offline because I don't have access to internet to select a picture online. So let's see if I can select any these pictures. Okay, these are my students from Ghana Christian International. So once you insert this picture, it comes as a background, more or less like a watermark and the Microsoft Word. So I don't need that. I delete it. It's gone. Then we also have what? Print titles. So this actually prevents you from manually repeating heading titles each step of the way of a particular worksheet. So I'm going to create something for you to see. So I have serial number, I have name. So 1, 2, I'll hold on the shift and do my autofill to, let's say, something like this. I'll just leave it there. Then I'll make it Fauma. Then I'll just double click. So if I go back to file, I come to print, automatically I have 9 pages. So if I move on to the second page, watch here, the serial number and name is not repeating. So those who are not specialists with regards to the usage of Excel would copy the headings and paste it each step of the way on all the pages as they move along. But that is a lazy man's approach. If you want to get a job done, you use the word print titles. So I just click on the print titles. Then we have rows to repeat at top. So once I click rows to repeat at top, that is it. And you can also have columns to repeat at left. So if you select it and you select this particular column, when you go to the next page, you need not to do that. So I say print preview, then automatically this is what comes. So automatically the rows, the headers are repeated at the top. Then I say columns to repeat at left. So I come, I'll type, let's say, Kojo here. Then let's see, let me go to file. Let me come to print. And let's see if I go to the next page. You see, aha. So when I type Kojo, let me go back. Let me go back. Where's Kojo? I just want to demonstrate. Aha. So you see Kojo has been typed, but I did not bring the row to repeat and the column to repeat at the left. But the system has automatically done that for me. So that's the use of the word print titles. That's the use of the print title. So if you don't want it, you come, then you just what? Delete it. You clear it. Then you click on OK. So if I go back to file, I come to print, automatically you see when you print, you just get something like this, plain. We don't have grid lines, we don't have borders around it. So if you want the system to include borders, once you click on print titles, you can check this option. I want grid lines, I want black and white, I want row and column headings included. So this is the row heading, column heading. So you just need to explore and see what happens with the worksheets you are dealing with. And that's the only way you're going to learn. So you see the row headings, the column headings are all being repeated here. So don't just watch this tutorial video, but after watching, try to be a little bit curious by exploring the other features I was unable to talk about. But I'll be giving you a lot of exercises which will help you explore all the functions relevant to the work that you do. So if you look at the dialog box launcher, if I click on the dialog box launcher here, you see page, you see margins, you see header and footer, all that we went through. So I'll need you to explore these options. I did not talk about this, so you need to explore and see what function it performs. So thanks for the time, and I do really appreciate you studying with me and me helping you get the required IT skill set and also prepare you for the official Microsoft exam where you can benchmark your skill sets on the Microsoft Excel with a global community.